welcome back to my channel. So today I thought it would be a really cool idea to talk about what I used to do and show you my work. So obviously, as most of you know now, I am a photographer. If you didn't know, I'm a photographer. I used to do photography as a business. In this very room that I'm stood in was my studio, and yeah, it all went in 2020. I'm pretty sure you can guess why. But I will always be a photographer. I will always have that with me. I will always have my baby with me. I love you. But yeah, today I thought I'm gonna do a video. I'm gonna show you what I can do. So yeah, if you want to see my photography work, I kind of hope you do because it's a massive part of my life. But yeah, if you do, then keep on watching. But before we get started, guys, if this is the first time you see my face, hello and welcome to my channel. Normally, if you love anything to do with Harry Potter, then this is the place for you. Join the magic and mayhem, hit subscribe because I'd love to have you. A massive thank you to these guys. These guys are my Patreons. They help me keep this channel running just that little bit more. If you'd like to know anything about Patreon, it's linked in the description of this video, along with my social medias. Go see what I'm up to on those. Okay, let's do this. I'm excited. Just to let you know, guys, all the photos that I am showing you within this video, they're okay to be on social media. They have had the all okay to be on social media. So the first lot of photos I'm going to show you is just cuteness overload. I'm going to show you some of my favourite baby newborn photos that I have took. Now, babies, newborns, they're not the easiest to photograph. You can't bribe them, you know. When I used to photograph kids in the studio, it was the parents would bribe them. You can't bribe a baby, it doesn't understand what you're saying, so you just had to sort of go with their mood. But here are some of my favourite baby and newborn photos. Okay, what did you think? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, we're going to move on now. We're going to move on to families, well, / studio. We're going to go to studio photos. Some of my favourite studio photos that I have done over the 6 years that I did photography. Oh, this is depressing. It's kind of depressing, but it's okay. It's okay. I look back and I think I did this and I'm so proud of myself, but yeah. Families, well, studio shoots. This isn't the last lot of photos. The next lot of photos I'm going to show you are from weddings. Now, I did 25 weddings in total. They were not me. I mean, I could do it. I did it. Obviously, I did 25 weddings. But what I'm trying to say is I can remember doing the very first wedding that I did. And I can remember being sick before going to photograph the ceremony. The thing is, the difference is There's so much pressure for a photographer at a wedding, okay? The photographer is one of the most important things to have at your wedding, because or a videographer as well, because they are the ones that capture the memories for you. They're the ones that make you be able to relive your day over and over and over again by looking at these photos or videos if it's a videographer. Now, if I'm doing a studio shoot and I'm not happy with the outcome, or say the kids didn't play ball and I'm just not happy, I'd call people back. Luckily, I never had to do that, but the option was there. I was able to do that. You can't do that on a wedding day. You cannot do that on a wedding day, guys. You cannot say, can everybody get dressed up? I am not happy. Can we just do this all again, please? There are important things that you need to get photos of, like the first kiss. Now, I always used to obviously have a meeting with the bride and groom. We do a practice photo shoot as well, just so that they could get used to me and my camera, and I got to know them a little bit more. Just made things a little bit easier. But when I would talk to them and we'd have a list for me of group shots, we'd think of group shots and everything, what we wanted for the group shots, because you don't want to be thinking about that on the day because you're going to miss things. Think about that beforehand. I had a list to take with me. So I do that with my brides and grooms. But I used to say to them, when you do the kiss, don't do a quick peck, because I need to get that shot, all right? I am not a magician, I'm a photographer. Just linger a little bit, all right? I'm not saying snub them or anything, just linger a bit with the kiss, please, because, yeah, I know it's quite embarrassing. Everybody's watching you and, you know, you might not feel comfortable, but just linger for the picture. If you're not bothered about the picture, then, yeah, quick peck's fine, but I might not be able to get it if it's quick peck. But, yeah, I think some people think photographers are magicians, and the amount of people at weddings that get in their way with their phones or their iPads. I've photographed weddings where they've had an iPad, and they've stood in front of me, and I'm like, move with your iPad or your iPhone or Android, whatever you've got. Yeah, and I used to say to the bride and groom as well, obviously when I'm taking group shots, there's people next to me with their phones. That's absolutely fine, you take pictures, but I always say to the bride and groom, you look at my camera, you're paying for my photos, not these crappy iPhones that are next to me. Okay, you look at my camera. Don't ignore them, because they're all like, look over here, Claire and Simon. I didn't photograph a couple called Claire and Simon. My cousin's called Claire with the husband Simon. That was really weird how them names popped into my head. But as I was saying, the first wedding I ever did, I was sick before the ceremony, and that kind of continued throughout the whole 25 weddings. It wasn't, the pressure's real when it comes to photographing a wedding. The pressure is real. Do you know, I could moan actually a lot about photographing weddings. Luckily, every single wedding I did was amazing. Now, I did meet up with one couple once. They were interested in me taking photos of their wedding. And I met up with them at a cafe and was going to have we had coffee, we spoke. And when we'd finished, I remember saying, "You're not what I'm looking for." I said no. And they looked at me a bit gone out, and I said, I get to pick my clients too. Do you know what I mean? It's not just clients get to pick their photographer, it can also be the other way around. Now, I was very particular. I didn't want bridezillas. Do you know what I mean? I wanted down-to-earth people that I got on with. There's enough pressure as it is, and I didn't feel very comfortable. I mean, I managed it and I did it, and I'm really proud of myself. And, you know, I haven't had complaints, which is awesome. And I really had fun at the weddings, especially at the night do's. I had way too much fun. You couldn't even call it work. But just before I lost my photography business, I did say I wasn't doing weddings anymore. So they weren't going to be done anymore. But I did 25, and one of them is a Harry Potter wedding. And I will show some clips of the Harry Potter wedding at the end, because we'll end on a very big high, because we all love Harry Potter. So yeah, check out my wedding work. you on to christenings. They're also done in churches and things. Not every wedding I did was in a church though, as you probably saw. I ain't even got photos ready yet. I'm just gonna go through photos to put in and add in after I filmed. But christenings, I didn't actually do many christenings. I did a few, but not many christenings. There wasn't many christenings when I was doing photography. It was weird, but I would have stopped them as well because there is a lot of pressure on christening. Not as much pressure on a christening, but there's still quite a lot of pressure. And as well, I think one of the christenings I did, maybe one or maybe two, you couldn't photograph the actual baptism. But then, and I remember doing my first christening, I couldn't photograph the baptism, only like before and after, which was strange because I was there to photograph and capture it. But then the next christening I did, I said to her, you know, where do you want me to stand in the church and things? I don't want to get in anyone's way. And she said to me, you go wherever you want. This is important. You take photos of this. It's special. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, but I don't want to get in anyone's way. And she says, don't worry. She says, all I ask you to do is not get up with us. And I was like, right, okay, obviously. So I was like, okay, cool. She was like, you do your work. She said, you capture this beautifully. And I was like, oh, but I know I can't photograph the baptism. And she said, of course you can. And I was like, I'm really confused right now. Turns out it's down to each vicar. So yeah, I was able to photograph that baptism, which was so much more fun. But yeah, if I can find christening photos, I'll add them in now in a second. If I can't, then we're going to just move on to the next one. But yeah, christenings they were fun, but they still had a bit of pressure. We're now moving on to one of my most favourite photography sessions. Literally so much fun in a cake smash. Okay, if you don't know what a cake smash is, basically I do just this decoration at the back of the studio on the vinyl, and then we bring what is for a first birthday. You bring your 1-year-old in, you stick a full cake in front of them and just let them at it. And honestly, they are the best photos. Seriously, if you have a child that's reaching 1, do a cake smash with a photographer. Not me though, because I don't do it anymore, unfortunately. I'm sorry. But cake smashes are one of my favourite. I did do quite a lot of cake smashes. I think I was known for cake smashes a lot. But yeah, I'm going to show you cake smashes now. Seriously, the cuteness, the funny, everything. Enjoy. So one of my next favourite kind of things is when I was able to get out of the studio. Obviously we've got weddings and christenings that are out of the studio, but location shoots. Location shoots were one of my favourite things to do because it was the one time I was out of the studio that I didn't feel pressured. Obviously I never felt pressured in my studio, but I mean the only other time being out of was weddings and christenings and I felt really pressured. Location shoots, I didn't feel pressured. It was fun. And oh, we had such a laugh. It was great. So yeah, I'm going to show you some of my favourite photos that I did on location shoots. Again, all these photos that I'm showing you, they are already on social media because I had the say so to do so, if that makes sense. advertisement on my photography page, and I wanted to film, that's what I do now. I wanted to photograph pets, okay? I hadn't done any or many pets at all, I can't remember. But I remember putting an advertisement up for doing free photo shoots on pets, but I wanted some unusual pets. And I had some really cool pets come into the studio. We had a hedgehog. We had one of them cats that have no fur. I can't remember what they're called. No, I can't remember. Did I have a parrot? I can't remember. But anyway, I am going to show you pet photos. We've had Frenchies. Oh my days, I had 2 Frenchies in here. Oh, they were owned by 2 separate people. They both came here with their Frenchies. The Frenchies were brothers. I think they were brothers. I don't think they were girls. I think they were boys. They were brothers, and they hadn't seen each other since they were separated and sold to obviously these 2 people. Oh my days, they were reunited in my studio, and it was such a beautiful thing. And then one of them peed on the vinyl. It's fine though, it's cleanable, it's vinyl. But yeah, oh my days, it was like the cutest thing ever. Anyway, pets. Let's look at pet photos. The last ones I might be showing you, I did do some boudoir photos. Obviously the ones that are on the internet are okay to see, but if I can find them I will definitely show them. Boudoir was fun. It made me nervous doing boudoir because it was different to what obviously I normally did. Plus, I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit weird photographing somebody getting up close and personal with a cat. It's a weird feeling. I'm not gonna lie. But we had a laugh. We had fun. Yeah, we had fun. But yeah, if I can find and share any of these photos, I will show you them now. So there you have it, guys. That is what I did. Obviously, I'm still a photographer, and I've moved on to. I do a lot of product photography. I haven't done product photography for a while. I used to do it for Geek Gear. But yeah, I kind of want to get back into it. I think when I lost my business in 2020, I wanted to help people. I wanted to use my channel. I wanted to use my platform to help advertise for people. So yeah, if you do anything that you think would fit my audience, if you make anything or do anything, you know, and you would like me to help you, I can do a video, I can do photos, then yeah, feel free to give me a message on social medias, because yeah, I do love using my platform to help people, because losing my business was horrific. I didn't give myself much time to think about it. I kind of just was like, don't cry, let's see what we can do with YouTube. Let's see what we can do throughout obviously lockdown and things. So, and obviously I grew in things and things were great, but then after a little bit I got to think about it, and it was like, okay, this is actually quite sad. I've spent all this time building this business and the business is no more. So yeah, I got a bit sad, and I just, you know, when you think I don't want anybody to feel like this, and I can try and help. So yeah, I like to try and help. I don't really know what else to say. But yeah, that's what I used to do. I used to be a photographer, I did studio, I did weddings, christenings, cake smashers. Oh my God, cake smashers. You have to admit they're the best, aren't they? But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's been quite cool having, I mean, I do have my camera around my neck because we go out and things, and it's more of a hobby for me now again, which is awesome, because I have to admit, when I did it as my business, I didn't take my camera out with me in my spare time because it felt like work having it in my hands. And although I loved doing photography, you can have the best job in the world and you'll have days where you don't feel like doing it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, guys, please give it a big thumbs up for me because it helps more than you know. Thank you so much for watching and taking an interest in what I used to do. And yeah, I'll speak to you all in my next video. Bye, Pods Poppets.